Well, good Saturday and welcome into Weekend Recharge. I'm Molly McCollum.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. America's weekend depends on the weather. And, as we get you into this weekend here, I think the headline is about it's not as cold.
No, we're slowly getting there. It's like baby steps out of the freezer for a lot of us. And most of us will be there by Monday.
Yes. And today's snapshot shows some of the other big stories that we're following, including the next 2 weeks.
I never trust a February warm-up.
No, you shouldn't. Or March, really.
No, really, we get to April, and that's when we have a little bit more confidence that maybe spring will stick around. Well, the sunny skies outside your window today won't last long in New Orleans. Perhaps you're already hearing some of the raindrops on your window. Storms are pressing widespread rain across the Gulf Coast and arriving in the Big Easy as early as tonight. That's the heavy rain. So if you have outdoor plans for Sunday, you might want to take today and maybe rethink those, because there's not really even a window on Sunday that you might be able to squeeze in an hour or two outside. It's heavy rain, thunder, lightning that's really going to be the feature of Sunday. And the feature that's causing all of this is actually in the Gulf. It's an area of low pressure that's only going to strengthen as it moves to the east, and that's going to spread, widespread heavy rain from areas in Texas all the way through Louisiana and then eventually into Florida. That's really going to be more the timing Sunday night into Monday. But here's where it's beginning. Light rain at the moment. That's going to fill in pretty dramatically over the next couple of hours. And thank goodness we are warm enough now in San Antonio that we're not seeing the freezing rain anymore. That was a big problem for the first couple of hours of the morning, sitting right around that freezing mark. And I say warm up, but we're still in the 30s in a lot of Texas with the rain coming down. It's not comfortable as you start off your Saturday and get into your Saturday afternoon. The I-10 corridor starting to see some rain, not quite in the New Orleans area yet, where we're still reporting some sunshine, 51. That is not going to last for too much longer. The heaviest rain moving in south central Louisiana, a pretty good swath of 2 to 3 inches of rain, and even 1 to 2 will be impressive. Say like Lake Charles, 1.37 inches of rain. That's the deficit that we're running so far this year. We're likely going to make that up in the next 24 hours very quickly. Now, we could use some rain in that area, slightly dry. That's the drought monitor. But where we could really use it, San Antonio, central Texas, the hill country, that's not quite where we're going to see some of the heaviest rainfall. In fact, really most of the rain, at least substantial rain, is going to miss out on the San Antonio area. It's really Houston, Lake Charles, Alexandria. That's by 9 o'clock this evening. The rain just starting to creep into the New Orleans area. But there we go. By Sunday morning, we are in it in New Orleans. Thunder, lightning, heavy rain, wave after wave moving along the I-10 corridor. 4 o'clock, we are still in the heavy rain. And really, we get closer to the sun going down. We're going to see the light rain, and then it's time for Monday. It's time to go back to work and school for so many of us. Houston, we're dealing with the rain showers today, tonight, slightly warmer tomorrow. I know the cloud cover is still in place. It's going to help keep our high temperatures down, but then the warm up really begins as we get into the upcoming week, what a lot of people are anticipating and waiting for and hoping for. But Jen, this is not the only area that we're seeing the heavy rain.
The Pacific Northwest is really
quickly.
Year-round, really, in a lot of cities in the South. Well, joining us now to talk about this is the mayor of Tuscumbia, William Foster. Thanks for being with us, sir. And, a tough weekend last week. Your tornado ripped through your community, leaving a trail of destruction. How is the cleanup coming along this week?
Thank you, Molly and Jen, for having me. But it's coming along.
Rather, with the cleanup, I know, that process. It can take a while. It can take sometimes months down the road, or even a year later, you can still see evidence of what happened.
Right. You kind of get the initial cleanup done, but then there's all the repair and the rebuilding that has to go on. We're in that season where we see the ramp up of severe weather. It can happen any month after Hurricane Helene. The road to recovery in western North Carolina is a long one.
We've all seen the images of the devastation, but there's been progress, and many locations weren't hit as hard, allowing businesses to reopen. And now they need you. Joining us to talk more about it is Cass Santander from Explore Asheville. Thank you so much for being with us. We talked to you about 3 months ago, and this obviously was right after Hurricane Helene. But you're back today with the same message. Asheville businesses need more customers to stay in business, right?
Well, thanks for having me back, Jen and Molly, to take this opportunity.
Cass Santander with Explore Asheville. Thank you for being with us. And Asheville, it is such a beautiful city. I've been there myself in April and in May. The wildflowers, amazing.
I can't wait to go.
Coming up next is Pattern, but first your 7-day stretch. And as we start off a new week and finish off the weekend, there's no big storm system that's looming across the lower 48. It's going to stay very active in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of rain and some snow at our highest elevations. And we're also going to watch some heavy rain along the I-10 corridor Sunday and then stretching over into Monday for areas like the Sunshine State, where all the way down to Miami, the potential is there for thunderstorms. But a majority of us fairly quiet as we start off the week. We get into Tuesday, we're going to be watching small clipper systems move across the northern tier, the Great Lakes, and then into the Northeast, but not producing a ton of snow. It's going to be more of an uncomfortable rain, cold and raining, but no cold in parts of the South where a warm-up is going to be underway for a majority of the week, Thursday into Friday. You can see a slight moderation of temperatures as we get into Friday in places like Atlanta, but still much warmer than what we saw this past week.